What's up, guys? I'm going to show you two different confirmations that you can use in your trading that will guarantee to increase your win percentage and your risk reward. Okay, this is what I use in my trading. It's been working very well. I've been using it with my back tested strategies, and I'm going to show you a lot of different examples and show you exactly how you can use it in your trading. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the first one is going to be supply demand breaks on the smaller time frame. Okay, so supply demand breaks on smaller time frame. All right, what does that actually mean, right? So this works on a few different strategies. Okay, the one that I'll be showing you is one on a balance theory strategy and also a supply demand strategy itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at Etsy. All right, so we have this daily supply zone over here, right? If I draw this gap fill from right here, it's a pretty big zone, but you can see that we have a very strong reaction from it, okay? Now, after I see this happen, right, the confirmation I want to use is supply demand break on a smaller time frame. So let's break that down for a second, right? On this supply zone, I'm looking to get short, right? I'm looking to take shorts at supply. But if I'm looking for confirmation, my confirmation would be waiting for demand to break, right? Let me show you an example, right? So if price, let's say we have a supply zone, right up here. Okay, we have supply zone right up here. Now, for price to get up to that supply zone, there's most likely going to be demand zones formed to get up there, right? So we may see a demand zone form on the way up, okay, just like that. So one of my confirmations when I'm trading, if I'm looking to get short here, instead of just getting short right at that supply, one of my confirmations is waiting for price to get below that demand. Okay, if price is able to get below this demand, because like in supply demand theory, right, demand should hold, right? If price comes down to a demand zone, it should hold. But if this demand zone is not holding, then that means, sellers are in control. And if sellers are in control, then we have confirmation that we can look to go short, okay? And so we simply just wait for pullback, or right when that breaks, we can get in short and the target down lower. So in this example here, Etsy, right, let's find our nearest demand zone, okay? We have a gap fill down here. We could really count that one as it, but this is where the real demand zone is, right in this area. If I draw it on like a 4-hour chart, maybe a daily, let me see. Hourly chart, 30-minute. Yeah, so right around this area. You see how price, I'm drawing it on a bigger time frame here, but price has this consolidation, right? And we have that fast gap up higher, that fast move higher. Price explodes higher. There's institutions buying all in this area right here, right? And so if I draw that out, right, we would expect demand to hold. That's a strong demand zone. The price goes down and we break it. Okay, we get below it. And when price gets below it, we know that the sellers who are selling up here, right, are strong, okay? And that's our confirmation. And once I get that confirmation, then I can simply wait for a pullback and go short again, okay? So there's a couple of different ways you can play it, right? You can short it right when price breaks that demand, so it would be right around here. Now, in this instance, I wouldn't want to do that because, if I'm targeting this low right down here, and I'm getting short right when that demand zone breaks, we're looking at a not so good risk reward, right? Less than 0.6 risk reward. That's terrible, right? But if you say, okay, now I'm just going to simply wait for a pullback, we get a pullback up towards this supply zone up here. Now you're saying, okay, now we have that confirmation that this high is going to hold, and we're targeting all the way down to this low. That's a 6-hour trade. Okay, 10 times better than getting in down here, right? Now, obviously, you can simply just get in right at this supply zone, but the reason I use confirmations, such as, waiting for that reaction, waiting for that demand to break, is that you're going to have a much better win percentage. You're going to see it work out a lot more because you're getting that confirmation that the sellers are in control in this scenario, okay? Now let me go ahead and show you another example. Let's go to TWLO. This is actually a trade I literally recently took. I got out of it today, hit my target. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the breakdown of why I took this trade, right? So this is a balance theory setup. Basically, the general idea is that, when price gets back into this purple zone, I'm looking for it to go down to the bottom of that purple zone. I have a few other videos on this, but for now, we're going to go over the confirmations, right? So when price was getting up to this high at 61.22, right? There's demand being formed on the way up, right? We've talked about this, right? Price moves higher, we're in a smaller time frame uptrend, price moves higher, and boom, we make that high. Now, where is the nearest demand zone, right? Now, it's very tough to see because of just the way that the price action works here, but it'd actually be right here. So this is our gap, sorry, like this. Can extend that out. So we have a gap up right here. Okay, so price moves higher, right? We have a consolidation, and then the next day, next candle, we gap up, we open up here, and we squeeze all the way up to 61.26, okay? So this is our demand zone, this is our demand zone right here, we have that gap fill. This is the area that we're gonna expect to hold. Now instantly, literally the next, right when this day opens, we come down, we test it, we bounce, and we end up breaking below it. Okay, so we end up breaking below this demand, right? Once I saw that, that was my confirmation to get in short, okay? And after I saw that, I actually got in short. I got in, I believe it was this candle right here, as we pop back up into 60.20, right? See, it says sell. That's where I ended up getting in short. My stop was above that high. And by short, I mean I bought puts, okay? But I just like to say short. So I ended up getting short as soon as I saw that smaller time frame demand zone break. Because to me, again, if demand breaks, right, if price is in an uptrend, and we see that demand zone break, that to me shows sellers are now in control in this area, right? So that's exactly what happened here. We get that move lower. Again, even if I missed this move, we ended up coming right back to this 5-minute supply zone. So I could have ended up shorting it right here again, okay? So once we get that demand zone to break, that gives me confirmation that sellers are in control and I can expect price to move lower, okay? And going with my other strategy, balance theory, right? My theory is that price is going to come all the way back down to this low at 58. And that's exactly what happened 2 days later, right? This was a very good trade. This was one of the profits I made. All right, so that is the first confirmation, okay? If you guys stuck so far to this part of the video, then you just learned something that's going to make you a lot more money. And if you keep watching to the end, you're about to learn another thing that's going to make you a lot more money as well, okay? So we went over supply demand and the smaller time frame breaks, okay? The next confirmation is going to be volume, okay? Volume is key, volume is very crucial. Now, let me go ahead and show you a stock like Airbnb, okay? So Airbnb on the daily chart, it's actually a trade I was looking at. I didn't end up taking it, but I was looking at it. We have this, I believe it's on the 4-hour, yep, we have a 4-hour supply zone right here, okay? So price, we move up, we take a stop, take the stops up here, we end up rocketing all the way down, we have our supply zone right here, okay, with this fast move lower. Price then comes up to the supply zone and rejection, okay? Now, for something like this, Airbnb, I mean, we don't really have demand till all the way down here, okay? So for in this scenario, we would have to wait for price to come all the way down, break it, make a move all the way back higher, and then go back lower. Now, obviously, you could just not wait for that. You could just get in short right here, stop above here, and target down here, a little bit lower, right? But one of the confirmations I use is volume. And if I go on, an hourly chart here, and I see increased volume into a demand or supply zone, that by itself is a confirmation, okay? So let me write this out. Increased volume into a zone is a confirmation, okay? That gives me more edge. That gives me the idea that there is a lot of price action being traded at that time in that area. So that means there's, institutions or banks who are looking to sell or buy in that zone. And if we look at Airbnb on this 1-hour chart right here, when price ends up gapping up and we run up into the supply, we end up rejecting it, you can see that we have big volume, right? Right there. So if we look at the past volume, the past like 2-3 weeks, except for this candle right here, right? Everything is pretty low volume. Except for this candle right here, there's huge volume. Okay, we have high relative volume coming up into that supply zone. All right, now when you see that happen, that is, for me, a sign where I can say, okay, I can get in right at that supply zone. I don't need to wait for a smaller time break. I don't need to wait for anything else. If I see high volume into a supply demand zone, that itself is confirmation, okay? And you can actually see it happen literally right here as well, right? If I go on a 4-hour, daily time frame. We have this daily zone here. If I actually zoom in on like a 3 hour, you can see it starts down at this gap fill, down to that low. Look at this. Huge volume right into there. And it ends up being the low. When I see that huge volume, that's my entry. Okay, after I see this candle close, I could have gotten right at that close. Right there, right? I can look to buy, I can put my stop right below the low or right below this low here. But if I want to be safe, keep it below that demand. And I can target this supply zone up here. Okay, so if we do a trade like this, we're essentially setting up something like, what is this going to be? This is going to be like a 2.3R trade, right? Very, very solid trade, right? Or if you did it the other way, you could have said, okay, price breaks this supply right here, right? Just barely. We get a little tip above it. We come back down. You can buy the pullback, put your stop right at that low, and then target the high. Same thing, right? Two different confirmations in this same exact trade. So even if you missed this move, you missed the volume, you could have waited a little bit, got in on this pullback here, put your stop below that low, target the high, and made just as much money. Okay, so supply and demand and balance theory and all my strategies work by themselves. But if you're looking to get an increased risk reward, an increased win rate, you need to add different confirmations to your strategy. The two ones that I just showed you are going to help you massively if you implement them in your trading. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe as well. Leave a comment down below other videos you should watch. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching with me, go ahead and click that first link in the description below. You can set up a call with someone from my team. We'll see if you're a good fit. I'll hand you my exact proven strategies, work with you one-on-one to make sure you are a consistently profitable trader in 8 weeks. And if you're not a trader or consistently profitable trader in 8 weeks, then we will continue to work for you for free until you are. Okay, so that's our offer, that's our guarantee. So go ahead, click that link. If you guys enjoyed this video, stay tuned for the next one because I'm going to be pumping out a lot more of these YouTube videos every single week. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.